There is a practical exam and you don't know this scientific name. Cocos nucifera belongs to the family Araceae. Type of fruits, edible person, endosperm. So, if you see this fruits, then you will find there are three parts. And this is the endosperm portions and having some amount of water. So this is epicarp, that is the skin, mesocarp, that is husk. Mesocarp is the fibrous, that is husk. And this is endocarp, that is nutshell. আমি যেটুকু খুব probably কম nutshell. That is a hard stone-like structures. This one is. Then the whitish portion is known as endosperm or kernel or coconut meat. Coconut meat. So, in depending upon this component of this crop concerned, sometimes you will find endosperm mostly for physiological process germination, seedling growth, but kernel generally when we are using for preparation of food items. Then coconut meat, that is also for preparation of food items, and some aspects it is coconut meat, that is for bakery industry when we have to prepare the coconut flour. Raw endosperm, I mean kernel, is squeezed, grinded and dried, then make powder, that is coconut flour, and that coconut flour is used for confectionery and bakery industry. But this kernel or endosperm or coconut flour, I mean meat, widely used in industry for preparation of oil, soaps, glycerin, then it is known as copra. So copra is the dehydrated coconut meat. Copra is dehydrated coconut meat, that is known as copra, and this terminology is used in the industrial purposes. Now, if you see this crop concern, the crop was originated in Southeast Asia. Asia, especially in Malaysia and Indonesia. Then it was dispersed to different areas where soil and climatic conditions are favorable. It was dispersed to different parts of the world where soil and climatic conditions are favorable, and this was dispersed by sea water and navy people. So dispersal of seeds by winds, by insects, by animal, by birds, right, or some other means. Here by sea waters And the navy peoples, when this one from by that is by ship traveling on the that is a water transports. So it was dispersed from one place to another. So now the important coconut growing areas in the world are Sri Lanka, Malaysia, India secured the third position, India, Thailand, Burma and Indonesia, and some other places also, but these are major coconut growing areas. Now, this, if you see this crop concern, that is botanical part, it is a monocotyledonous plant. What we have discussed during the practical morphological studies, it is a monocotyledonous plant, monocarpic and monocotyledonous, monoecious and tricarpic in nature. It is monocotyledonous plants, single stem plant having fibrous root system, adventitious root system, monoecious and tricarpic. The plant is tall. The plant is tall, erect, cylindrical, unbranched, pillar-like stem, erect, cylindrical, unbranched, pillar-like stem with compact structure, full of leaf scar, produces adventitious roots under favorable soil and climatic conditions. A 15 years old coconut plant having 5,000 numbers of roots, sufficient enough for good growth, good production and quality nut. So, this is a monocotyledonous plants, adventitious roots, unbranched, erect, cylindrical stem, compact, with full of leaf scar. That means when the leaf matures, dries up and droop off, leaving a sign, semicircular sign on the stem, that is known as leaf scar. Then with a gigantic, not gigantic, you say massive crown, with a massive crown. And that crown consists of 25 to 30 numbers of gigantic leaves. Four or five bunches of ripe fruits. 3 to 4 bunches of developing fruits, fruit buds, and 3 to 4 numbers of inflorescence. Now, in case of coconut, you will find that the plant produces one leaf at an interval of 1 month. One leaf at an interval of 1 month. So ultimately there is a 12 number of leaves. Similarly, one inflorescence is developed at an interval of 1 month. This is the average duration. During summer days, the duration is short. During winter days, the duration is more. So on an average, every after 30 days, there is a production of one leaf, and from each axial of the each leaf, there is a production of one inflorescence. So 1 month, so ultimately there are 12 number of inflorescence. And from flowering to harvesting, you can say ripening, it takes 11 to 12 months. Hence, every month is a production of one leaf, production of one inflorescence, and harvesting of 1 month. And that sequence is more common in pure tropical climatic conditions, especially the areas where near the equators. You will find in southern India, Sri Lanka, Lakshadweep Islands, Port Blair, then other islands in the Indian Ocean, near the equators. Tropical climatic conditions prevailing. So they are expecting every month is the production of one inflorescence and production of one buds. Means, say, that is September 2014, there is a production of one inflorescence, development of one inflorescence. Then August 2015, it is harvested. October 2014, then September 2015. November 2014, then October 2015. In this way, there is a development of one inflorescence and harvesting of one bunches. Now, it is full of leaf scar. So, by counting the leaf scar, you can roughly estimate the age of the plants. That is, total number of leaf scar divided by 12 plus 4 or 5 years. That is, in case of dwarf varieties, at 4 years age, the stem is visible. When the stem is visible, then you can count the leaf scar. And in tall varieties, at the age of 5th year, the stem is visible, then you can count the leaf scar. So, this will give the age of the plant. But if you see this physiology of the leaf occurrence and inflorescence, then you will find that the leaf bud primordia, LBP, that is leaf bud primordia, differentiated 36 months before its appearance, when it is come to our notice. And axial of the each leaf, there is a production of one inflorescence. So, flower bud differentiation, flower bud primordia, FBP, that is flower bud primordia, initiated from the axial of the leaf 32 months before its appearance. That's why every month is a leaf production Every month is inflorescence, and there is a every month is a harvesting, and there is a continuous fruit development takes flowering, fruit sets, fruit development takes place. That's why proper agronomical practices should be maintained throughout the year. Throughout the year. Some farmers reported that last 2 years we have manures, go for clean cultivations. Now we are getting good yield, then after that there is no yield. So when you are cultivating the crops, till its survivability, you have to go for normal intercultural operations, proper management practices, then you will get normal crop. If there is a gap of 2-3 years, no proper management, fertilizer is not applied, no proper irrigation during dry periods, then flower bud differentiation is disturbed. Leaf bud differentiation is disturbed. So instead of 25 to 30 numbers of leaves, you will find some plants which are unmanaged, hardly 10, 12, 15 leaves, and they are also not productive. Only 3-4 leaves, actually the leaves you will get the small bunch having 4, 5, 10, hardly 10 number of fruits. That's why if the average age of the plant, in case of tall variety, it is 80 years production age, and dwarf varieties, it is 60 years. So during that period, proper care should be taken. In case of mango, in case of lychee, what happened? After harvesting, there is a lean period. Again, by May, June, in case of lychee, harvesting is over. By July, mango, harvesting is over. Then August, September, October, November, farmers take least interest. And that is a lean period. Of course, rejuvenation is required. That we have discussed. Then remove the weeds, give a light plowing, apply waters. If it is dry periods, then go for blanket prophylactic measures for against pest and disease, then manure, then new branches will come out, and that current season growth, there is a production, flower production. Even then, if that practice is performed in the month of September instead of August, there will be no harm. But in case of coconut, you have to, every month, you have to take care. Then you will get good production throughout the year till its productive age periods. Now it is, in case of coconut, the adventitious roots are developed from the lowermost part of the stem. That lowermost part of the stem where the adventitious roots are developed, known as, technical term is bole. The nemative crown consists of leaves, inflorescence, developing fruits, ripening fruits, right? And the leaves are gigantic, about 4 to 5 meters long, hundreds of leaflets equally distributed both sides of the midrib. And midrib is hard, gradually broader at the base, slightly curved, extended growth, and tightly adhering with the stem. But the functional age of the leaf is more than other fruit crops, because from axil of each leaf, 1 year old leaves, then inflorescence is developed. Then another 1 year required for harvesting. So from the axil of the leaf, there is a bunch, inflorescence, and in due course you will get the bunch. So say for example there is a 20 numbers of fruits in a bunch, average weights 30 to 40 kg, so 35 kg, and that weight is supported by the leaf for about 10 months. You imagine the strength of the leaf. That's why if that particular leaf is dried up, don't remove it. You remove the leaves only after harvesting of the bunch. Otherwise, if you remove the leaves, then the bunch will be hanging down, and it will be not properly matured. And you cannot use for industrial purposes. Even for food items, delicious food items cannot be prepared. The inflorescence is a branch inflorescence. In case of coconut, areca nut, date palm, oil palm, the inflorescence are branch inflorescence, which is known as spadix. And spadix consists of numbers of branches, and each branch is known as rachis, and each rachis is full of male flowers and with 1 or 2 female flowers. If you find, then you will find individual rachis, individual branch rachis, and these are all male flowers. The male flowers are similar to a paddy seed with 1 or 2 female flowers. Means in case of tall varieties, you will find each rachis there is a 1 female flower. So sometimes there may not be, but in case of dwarf varieties, generally 2 female flowers. Sometimes you may find 3 also. Now the male flowers open from the tip and lasting for 15 days. That means the male flower blooming time is 15 days. That is known as male phase. That is known as male phase. Then female flowers open, and that female flowers duration is 3 to 5 days. That is known as female phase. Now interesting is that the tall varieties are cross-pollinated, because male flowers open from the tip and gradually after opening it is droop off, shedding of male flowers. Then after completion of the male phase, after 15 days, then female flowers open. So there is no pollen for fertility of the female flowers. Then it have to depend upon the pollen grain from the nearby plants or from the buds or the inflorescences developed in the subsequent months. That's why it is cross-pollinated. But in case of dwarf varieties, it is self-pollinated, because generally 11 to 12 days after opening of the male flowers, female flowers open. So the last part of the male phase, the 3-4 days, is coincide with the female phase, hence self-pollination takes place. Again, in case of tall variety, so it is cross-pollinated, means it is allogamic in nature, it is self-pollinated, autogamic in nature. Autogamic, then allogamic. Tall varieties are long-lived, about 80 years productive age. Self-pollinated varieties are medium-lived, up to 60 years. Tall varieties, the oil content is more. Oil content is more, but here the oil content is less. But generally, the dwarf varieties are, generally the kernel of the dwarf variety is sweeter than tall variety. Tall varieties kernel are also sweet, but dwarf varieties are, the kernel is, dwarf varieties kernel is more sweeter than tall varieties. Now if you find this composition of the immature fruits and mature fruits. So immature immature fruits, why it is important? Immature fruits, why it is important? Only for water, coconut water, which is considered as a cold drinks, nutritious cold drinks. The artificial cold drinks which are available in the market, the nutritive value is how much? Coca-Cola, Miranda, Thumbs Up. What is the nutritive value? Huh? It is a big zero. Nutritive value of the Miranda, Coca-Cola is big zero. Again, you know the Ramdev, the persons who try to the nation to do the yoga. What he told? These cold drinks, artificial cold drinks are nothing but toilet cleaner. Yes. Instead of Sunny-Fresh, if you take it, toilet will be clean. That's why 5-6 days back, what happened? The multinational company, his life was threatened by the multinational company. Then there was a security protection from the central government. This is another chapter. But this is fact. But he challenged it, but the multinational company cannot take the challenge. They cannot prove that our drinks is nutritious. Anyway, now if you see this, that's why it is suggested to take always fruit juice. If you keep your health good conditions and to increase your life health. I told one thing now, how this age is reduced by these cold drinks. I told you one day. That is not my version. That is the version of the scientist from CFTRI. What is CFTRI? Central Food Technology Research Institute at Mysore. When he visited 3 times during excursion, then they told that if you take 1 bottle of artificial cold drinks, reduce your life by 15 minutes. During your life periods, you have consumed 2000 bottles. Multiply 15 minutes and calculate your age. I will not go for calculation. This is not my opinion. Anyway, There may be some contradictory reports, but we will not go details. Now this composition of in case of kernel, moisture content 30 to 45%, carbohydrate content, this is depending upon the maturity age, ripening or the variety. Then it is 10 to 13%, fat content 40 to 59%, minerals 3 to 4%. Okay. Protein 4 to 5%. Iron content 0.01%. Phosphorus content 0.25%. Vitamin A content, it is in trace amount. Then in case of coconut water, that is the water, in ripe fruits also you will get the water, that is also nutritious, but the amount is less. But in case of coconut water, immature fruits, which is mostly used for refreshing purpose, that is cold drinks. Moisture content, it is 95 to 96%. Then carbohydrate content is 4%. Then fat content is 0.01%. Then protein content is 0.2%. Then mineral content is 0.4%. Phosphorus content is 0.1%. Iron content is 5 milligram per 100 gram of plants. 100 gram of 100 not gram, 100 milliliter, 100 ml of water. Now, what is the scope and importance of the crop? Scope and importance of the crop, you write down one sentence. That sentence will complete the importance. The importance of the coconut palm, these are generally areca palm, cocoa palm, date palm, lies in the fact that not only does it supply food, drink and shelter, but also provides number of raw materials, for a number of industry related to economic life. Raw materials. provides food. Not only does it provide food, drink and shelter. That shelter, the gigantic leaves and leaflets widely used as a roofing materials for construction of thatch house, which is a common scenario you will find in Kerala, Tamil Nadu seashore areas. Andaman Islands, Nicobar Islands, you will find this is the common scenario that production, that roofing materials, leaflets. Agora এতিয়া আমাৰ আৰচিচি বনাইছে, আগতে কি বনাইছিলে? খেৰেৰে বনাইছিল, চেক্ৰাম স্পেচিছ, খেৰ উলুৰ যিবিলাক আছিলে সেইবিলাকে বিনা এইবিলাকে লৈ পেলাই আগতে খেৰ বনাইছিল। And during this British period, they have prepared this thatch house, that is just two-store building, like two-store. The ground floor was free because at the time it was full of jungle. There is all these reptiles, then other animals which may create problems. That's why the first floor is remain vacant and used for storehouse of vehicles, other materials. Then first floor, and it was covered by roofing materials, only thatch. Here these roofing materials, leaflets. Then the post is used, the stem is used as post for construction of thatch house. Then the midrib is used for fuel purpose. The branch spadix dries up, that is also used for fuel purpose. Then this unproductive plants, plant is cut, take the lower parts, make equally two halves, then make equally two halves, and they have removed the inner parts. And produce one-man rowing boats, which is a common scenario in Kerala. One-man rowing boats. Then this inflorescence, where the female flowers number is less, right? Then the tender inflorescence, which is creeps in nature, having full of juice, that is used for preparation of vinegar or some homely prepared alcohol. Do you have some this scenery that this date palm which is available in our region? আগতে দেখিছা তাৰি বনোৱা দেখিছা? Some peoples climb up the date palm, then newly emerged inflorescence, they simply cut it, then carry a earthen pots, then closely tied it. Then when this cut it, then the juice will come out, and that is deposited in the earthen pots. Then after 7-8 days, this is collected, then it is purified, then get the one type of homely prepared, this is one type of alcoholic substance, liquor. So that is also prepared, and vinegar is homely prepared. Vinegar can be prepared from the tapping of the unopened inflorescence, mostly from the unproductive plants. Then drink, immature nuts, widely used for refreshing purposes as cold drinks, as well as from the, not only from immature fruits, but from the ripened fruits. Are you tested this coconut water from the ripened fruits? How it is? It is same with thumbs up, but in case of immature fruits, the color is not so clear, right? But in ripened fruits, the water is completely filtered. Clear water is fine, because whatever the minerals, proteins, fats which were in colloidal states in due course they are deposited in the inner wall of the endocarp, and ultimately that will convert into a kernel. Then foods, that is coconut meat, coconut flour, then widely used in bakery industry, confectionery. Coconut biscuits is available in the market. Then for delicious food items, tell me one name, delicious food item which is more common in here. Narikolo loskara. Notice that laddu, that round type, that's laddu is prepared with grinding these raw coconuts, I mean kernel. Then now this, what we have told you, that endosperm, it is appropriate when there is a germination. Kernel, when we are prepared the foods. Then coconut meats, prepare the foods. Then copra. It's a technical term of kernel. That copra is widely used for dehydrated kernel or endosperm, widely used for preparation of hair oil, edible oil, soap industry, টিভিত দেখিয়ে থাকা না অ্যাডভার্টাইজমেন্ট, Lux soap, Jivan, and you will find Rexona, Lux, whatever the soaps available, then there is a 1 or 2 drops of the coconut oil. So soaps, then glycerin, and some lubricants. Lubricants are prepared from the oil, and that oil is from the copra. So there are 2 types of copra. One is ball copra, another is cup copra. So now this is the nut, right? This is the mesocarp, is the husk. You remove the husk, then what happens? You will get a round shaped ball type structure and with 3 eyes. Tricarpic in nature. One eye is broader and soft, that is the having embryo, and other 2 eyes obligatory, they are non-functional. So that's why there are 3 ridges. Here also you will find there are 3 ridges. The ridges are prominent from the, this is the perianth, undifferentiated calyxian corolla. This is the rachis, right? This is the perianth. Now this is the fruits. This is the stigmatic end, black tip, this is the stigma. From the stigmatic end, the ridges are prominent. Now this is the first, between 2 ridges there is a one side. Between these 2 there is a second side, and other side one, this is the gap, so this is the third side. So that broader eyes, that is functional eyes, where the embryo is present, that is always found in the broader sides. In any variety of the coconut in the world, broader sides endosperm is, the embryo is present. Now when we remove the husk, this is known as dehusk nut. This is known as dehusk nut. Now these dehusk nuts are dried under sunshine for about 10-12 days. Right? Dried under sun for 10-12 days. Then what happened? Due to getting the heat, the endosperm or the kernel gets sink and detached from the inner wall of the endocarp. কোটোৱাটোৰ পৰা এৰাই গুচি আহে. Hence, while you will jerk it, then you will get the sound. আমাৰ যিটো বজাৰত ডাব নাৰিকল বুলি কোৱা হয়, that is the, so it gets sinks detached from the inner wall of the endocarp and it is floated. So with the help of a iron stick or wooden stick, you break the endocarp. Then a ball shaped kernel will come out. That is known as ball copra. That is known as ball copra. And that ball copra is used for, it is kept for future use, not immediate use for preparation of oil, soaps industry, glycerin industry. Then for immediate use, this dehusked nut is cut into two equal halves. And dried under sun, keeping the cut part upwards. Dried under sun, keeping the cut part towards the sunshine. Then within 4 or 5 days, because it is exposed now, so it takes less time. Within 4 or 5 days, the endosperm, a kernel, detached. And you cover it. You can easily remove it. Then you will get a cup-shaped kernel known as cup copra. That cup copra is used for immediate use in the industry. Then let's complete the soil requirement of the crop. Coconut can be grown in a wide range of soil conditions. Ranging from sandy loam to lateritic soil. But the crop perform well. In light sandy loam, easily permeable soil. At a shallow depth, it did perform well in a light sandy loam soils, easily permeable at a shallow depth, and with no water stagnant conditions. Without water stagnant condition. It equally perform well in old or new alluvial soil, light red loam soil, medium clay soil, peat soil, and lateritic soil, or you can, that is lateritic soil you will find in the coastal region. When the crop is grown in red loam alluvial soil, when the crop is grown in red loam alluvial soil, the plants comes to bear early. The plants comes to bear early. And when it is grown in medium clay or lateritic soil, the bedding is late. Their bedding is late. Being a crop produces fruits throughout the year, requires a optimum moisture condition at the root zone, requires a optimum moisture content at the root zone, but cannot tolerate waterlogged condition, or high water table condition. Hence, drainage system is more essential. The required pH is range from 5.5 to 6.5. This is for today.